You and my colleague, um, Thomas DeVere Wolseley from the American University in Cairo. You want to say hello?
Hi, everybody. Welcome from the banks of the...
So I would like to say thank you, everyone, for joining us for Beyond the App. Beyond the App started and out of a kind of desire and a look of what was happening with teachers when COVID-19 hit. DeVere and I were chatting this summer about how can we do a better job supporting teachers during the pandemic, and we were kind of visiting all the different professional development opportunities that were out there, and we noticed that most of them were opportunities in which presenters talked at the teachers. And we wanted to design something for teachers that was interactive. So Beyond the App is going to focus on teaching literacy in traditional and the online classroom, where the focus is on interaction. Each of the presenters throughout the conference will present for about 30 minutes. And then the second half of each session is meant for interaction between you and the presenters. We've worked to keep most of the sessions at about 40 people. Some are greater simply because we didn't have as many Arabic translators as we wanted. So if you're in a session with an Arabic translator, those sessions are a little bit larger. There are still a few spaces each day in the conference, but not too many. So share the information. Today, as we open the conference, we are going to welcome Dr. Erik Bitterbaum, who is the president of SUNY Cortland. Dr. Bitterbaum is a biologist who specializes in ornithology. He's been president of SUNY Cortland since 2013 and has overseen a physical and cultural transformation of campus and expanded the university's relevance in the community, the region, and the world. As president, he has guided nearly $3 million in new construction and renovation on campus, including a state-of-the-art science complex, the creation of New York's greenest residence hall, and the most unique and comprehensive student recreational facility in the 64 campus SUNY system. President Bitterbaum's commitment to diversity is reflected by the growth of students from underrepresented groups, from roughly 4% of the student population when he arrived to nearly 25% in 2017. He has deepened SUNY Cortland's role in the region through the creation of the Downtown Business Partnership, the Institute for Civic Engagement, and the Innovation Center, initiatives that have resulted in the rehabilitation of 2 vacant downtown Cortland buildings. With his guidance, service learning and volunteering became a core component of the SUNY Cortland educational experience, with students providing more than 200,000 hours of unpaid service to the community. Leader of the largest teacher education program in SUNY and one of the most respected programs in the nation, President Bitterbaum is a commissioner of the National Council for the Accreditation of Teacher Preparation, or CAPE, and he guided the university to achieve reaccreditation from both NCATE and Middle States. A charter signatory of the American College and University President's Climate Commitment, he has overseen changes to SUNY Cortland's infrastructure, practices, curriculum, and culture that have helped make it one of the most environmentally sustainable colleges in the United States, according to annual ratings by the Sierra Club and the Association for the Advancement of Stability in Higher Education. I don't want to take up too much time. I would like to thank Erik for being our opening speaker at Beyond the App and turn the microphone over to him.
Thank you, Nance. That was very kind of you. Greetings. My name is Erik Bitterbaum, and I have the honor of being the president at the State University of New York at Cortland. I'm delighted to have been invited to share a few opening remarks to this global literacy conference called Beyond the App. Depending on where you live in the world, may I offer you the salutation of good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. What an extraordinary opportunity for the Graduate School of Education at the American University in Cairo to develop this virtual conference with SUNY Cortland's Literacy Department, A special thank you goes out to Dr. Nance Wilson from Cortland and Dr. Thomas Woolsey from AUC. I was particularly pleased when Dr. Wilson asked if I might share some opening remarks for today's conference. Nance did not realize that my mother was not only a teacher, but that she excelled as a reading teacher. Evelyn Bitterbaum always said that literacy skills were the foundation for all students to succeed at school, at work, and in their daily lives. My mother is now 95 years old and still volunteering to help others. Recently, I asked her about reading and literacy, and she had some interesting concepts to share with me. First, she wanted me to be sure that I understood that literacy is not just reading. She went on to say that the main ingredients of literacy were reading, but writing, language, speaking, and listening. When she hosted student teachers in her classroom, she advised them that they needed to be thinking about not only what their students were reading, but also writing and talking about inside and outside the classroom. My wife has been a teacher of the deaf in a variety of school settings. Unlike most students who learn to read effortlessly, hearing impaired students struggle with the written word. The majority of deaf educators know that literacy is a complex skill that needs to be taught systematically, contextually, and incrementally. Quite often, deaf children fall behind academically if they do not develop the skills to read and write. Their comprehension skills will especially suffer, pushing them further back in school. This conference has the opportunity to equip educators with new tools to help prepare all kinds of students for the unknown. Some additional personal history. My mother pointed out that my grandfather, when he came to America from Poland in 1919, he was considered literate because he could sign his name. My grandfather started elementary school in New York City at 21 years of age so that he could learn to read, write, speak, and listen in ways that would allow him to participate fully in the American dream. Of course, today to be literate means much more: to understand, to evaluate, use and engage with written material to participate in society. Grandpa went on to be a successful business person and gave immense credit to teachers for his ability to read, write, speak, and think critically to achieve his personal goals and ambitions. Upon retiring in his early 70s, he volunteered at a night school in New York City, teaching immigrants to the United States how to read and write. I also had the opportunity to tutor students while in college. Every other Saturday while going to school in Los Angeles, about a dozen Occidental College students tutored a variety of subjects to elementary school, junior high, and high school students whose first language was not English. I remained in contact with several of those students for over a decade. One additional side note from my upbringing was being taught by my mother the Evelyn Wood methodology of speed reading. Although this technique is rarely taught today, it still enables me to read a great deal of material with a high degree of understanding, which comes in handy as a university president. As you can see, my family has always been tied to the importance of literacy. What is particularly exciting today is that we're developing new digital tools to help tomorrow's students. I was speaking to one of our undergraduate education majors, and I asked her what she was studying in the classroom. She told me that not only did she feel well prepared to teach when she leaves Cortland, but that she will also be a digital teacher. I was confused and asked her, what is a digital teacher? Without missing a beat, she replied that as a digital teacher, she could navigate the tools and skills needed for working and living in today's society. I asked her for an example, and I remember this one. She knew how to use an app to create a multimedia presentation that would have text, photos, and videos. I was most impressed. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it is the importance of delivering high-quality digital learning experiences. I would like to suggest two ways that academic institutions can meet this challenge. First, we need to offer professional development opportunities for our colleagues in implementing digital tools and pedagogy effectively. According to a survey done on our campus, teaching remotely has been a mixed blessing. Second, we have to make sure that our students have the tools and the preparation needed to learn online. Cortland faculty have pointed out to me that students continue to need guidance to be effective online learners. This very conference is starting to address the use of digital tools, common learning platforms, and different institutional practices and policies. I believe that we can close the learning gap by integrating new digital tools into our methods of instruction and create exciting new learning environments for our students. I would now like to change the focus of my remarks to global collaboration. Senator William Fulbright, the namesake of the Fulbright scholarships, once said, "The problems facing mankind are not technological ones, but human problems, our failures to understand and appreciate one another, and an inability to communicate effectively with one another." I am proud that at SUNY Cortland, we understand that we are all connected to this global economy and society in which we now live. Dr. Mary Schlarb, our Director of International Programs at our university, points out to students how studying abroad gives them the opportunity to break out of their academic routine and learn new perspectives, both within their field of study and in other subjects. Studying abroad becomes a credential that shows future employers and graduate schools that you have what it takes to contribute and succeed in intercultural settings. International education has been particularly important to me, having lived in North Africa, Tripoli, Libya, and living twice in Germany while growing up. I spent my junior year abroad at Sussex University in England and used 2 Euro passes in the summer to visit over a dozen European nations and Morocco. Before the world of the virus, I regularly visited our partner universities from China to Central America to Turkey. I look forward to the days that I can rekindle those friendships and expand the educational opportunities for our students and faculty. This conference represents a unique opportunity to promote international understanding. I believe that we are entering a time in which decisions will have to be made collectively to an ever-increasing degree. Citizens both in the United States and around the world will need to be better versed in the complexities of international affairs and to become better acquainted with the extraordinary richness of different cultures. International education adds a whole new dimension to one's perspective on society and has a lifelong impact on one's values. I am most proud that Cortland has had an exchange program with the American University in Cairo for many years. I truly look forward to the day when I can visit the new campus of AUC that really looks quite marvelous online. So let me conclude by saying that what a special opportunity you have to connect teachers and scholars from around the world to help children, especially in grades 3 through 9, to find real joy in reading, writing, and learning in the classroom. I wish you a wonderful week of Beyond the App. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. You can do waves, claps, you can different ways. Thank you very much. We're really excited about this opportunity. Earlier this week, Devere and I were looking at our registration and we noticed that we have people from most of the states, but we also have registrants from South Korea, Ghana, Kenya, Egypt, I'm missing places, but jump in.
Mexico,
right? And our diversity keeps growing. As you enter the sessions and as you go into the agendas, feel free to join your sessions. Our first session begins at 12:30. You all obviously were able to use the Event Squid app to go to the Join Your Meeting Now. Your next meeting will begin will open 5 minutes before the session begins, so at 12:25. before we start, if anyone has any questions about the conference, how to do anything, use this time. If you want to put it in the chat or just speak out, please let me know. If not, we will see you at your first concurrent session at 12:30 or 12:25. I don't think we have questions. So thank you, Eric, for helping us to open the conference today. And thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, everybody.